Don't you love it when you discover something cool about your gadgets? It feels like an unexpected gift. Like, until today, I didn't know I could add actions to the control center of my iPhone. I want you to feel the same way about your keyboard. So here are 9 secret features of the Dygma keyboards I've gathered over 4 years of helping people get the most out of them. The 8th one is my favorite, but if you stick around until the end, there is a bonus one I find hilarious. Let's start with something easy but nice, changing the name of your keyboard in the configurator software, Password. Just head over to Preferences, and next to the name, press the Edit button and change the name. Voila! There is another secret feature in the Preferences menu, Highlight Layer Change. This feature will briefly increase the LED brightness when you change layers. That way, you can set a lower LED brightness, like 0, to improve battery life, while still getting a clear indicator when you switch layers. You can activate it under Preferences, LEDs, and if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see the section Highlight Layer Changing. You just activate it and save changes. Now let's move on to something even juicier. Did you know that you can switch to Bluetooth mode while the keyboard is wired? Just press the Bluetooth pairing key and the keyboard will show the pairing interface. If you already have a channel paired, it will connect to that channel. And if you want to go back to wired, just press the yellow top left key. And I'm back to wired. Another underrated feature on the Dygma keyboards is layer export and import. This is extremely useful if you have layers that you don't use frequently to grant a permanent spot on the keyboard, but you don't want to lose them and have to recreate them later. For instance, I don't edit videos frequently, Anna does that, but I have saved a DaVinci layer that I can load into my keyboard whenever I need. This can apply to anything, like games or other apps such as Photoshop or Lightroom. Just head over to the Layout Editor, select the cog next to the Layers drop-down menu, and choose either Share Selected Layer to export or Load Single Layer to import. In this case, I'm going to load the DaVinci layer on an empty spot. So here, layer 9, cog, load single layer, select the layer, and load layers. And here's the layer. Just press Save Changes, and the layer will be on the keyboard. And now that we've opened this submenu, I want to highlight a small yet practical feature, Copy from Layer, which basically lets you copy a layer to another layer. It's great if you want to make big adjustments to a layer while still keeping the original at hand. I use it a lot when I try new layouts. So for example, if I want to copy my base layer to layer 9, head over to the Layout Editor, select the layer that you want to copy to, press the cog, press Copy from Layer, select the layer that you want to copy from, press Copy Layer, and voila, it's copied. Let's move now to a feature I couldn't live without, one that I don't see many people using, one-shot layers. The behavior is simple. Tap to access the layer, but just for one key press. You see, it went back to my previous layer. Hold to access the layer while holding the key, and double tap to lock the layer. Then tap again to unlock it. I use this for my number pad layer. Most of the time, I only need to input a couple of numbers, so holding the key works perfectly. But when I go into accountant mode, I can lock the layer and have a full number pad I'm at disposal on both sides of the keyboard. So with my right hand or with my left hand while using the mouse on the right. To create a one-shot layer, select the key, head over to Layers and Modifiers, select the layer that you want to go to, in my case layer 3, and click on Turn into One-Shot Layer, and press Save Changes. Make sure that the same key on the destination layer is set up as transparent. You can also do this with modifiers like Ctrl or Shift. So if you double tap Shift, you get something similar to Caps Lock. Just select the modifier and click on Turn into One-Shot Modifier. If you want to learn more about one-shot keys, check out this other video. In BaseCore, you can easily assign any keyboard key, including media or monitor brightness keys. But if there is a key that you want to send that's not available on base core, you can add it through custom keycodes. First, find the key you want in the keyboard or consumer HID usage tables. For the sake of this video, I'm going to use Desktop Show All Windows, which is the equivalent of Mission Control on Mac. Its hex code is 29F. To add it to base core, I need to use a hex calculator to add its code to 4800, which turns out to be 4A9F. Then I press the range in the layout editor and paste that number, 4A9F. Save changes and save changes. Now when I press that key, Mission Control. Not beautiful, not easy, and there's probably easier ways to get mission control, like mapping the shortcut Control up, but you feel really accomplished. Just be aware that there are plenty of HID keycodes, and most of them are not recognized by Windows or Mac. So there's a bit of a trial and error here. Now let me show you my favorite little feature, something that seems trivial but has made my life so much easier. When naming a super key or a macro, you can use not only letters, but also emojis and symbols. This way, you can use the names to better represent what the super key or the macro does. Let me show you my keyboard so you understand better. For example, I have a key here that is Desktop on Tab and Alt on Hold, Delete on Tab and Command on Hold, Backspace on Tab and Shift on Hold, and I use the symbols or emojis for that to represent Tab and Hold in the name of the super key. And my favorite one here is Enter on Tab and the mouse layer on Hold, which is represented with a nice little mouse emoji. This way I can see everything that each key does at what glance without having to either go to the Superkeys menu or select it to see what it does. Finally, let's talk about the coolest secret feature of the keyboard, the 4 screw holes in the back. Those holes are there so you can design any attachment for the keyboard that you can think of, from custom tenting solutions to crazy holsters that let you use the keyboard attached to your thighs. I will leave a link to some of those designs in the description below. And if you'd rather not have to 3D print or engineer something, don't worry. We have developed an adapter pack that you can attach to those holes and use with any camera arm that has a 1/4 inch standard screw head. You can get those adapters as well as the articulated arms at dygma.com/arms. And now, the promised bonus. Normally, to use the keyboard in Bluetooth mode, you need to place the neuron in the back of the left half. But what if you are left-handed and you only want to use the right-hand side? I got you. Since the neuron is the Bluetooth antenna, you can connect it directly to the right side, and it will work over Bluetooth. Ta-da! And I can turn this side off, and it will continue working. Of course, this is a corner case use, because you can also use only the right side in RF mode, with the neuron connected to the computer. But I couldn't refrain from showing it to you. When you set it up like this, the keyboard reminds me of the anglerfish in Finding Nemo. And that's it. What do you think? Did you know them all? Which one is your favorite secret feature of your Dygma keyboard? Let me know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to get more videos like this. Until the next one.